Welcome to this video on cell referencing. Cell referencing simply means making reference to a particular cell or a range in your formula. Now, the kind of reference you construct in your formula will depend on what you're doing. The referencing could be relative, in which case, when you copy down to other cells or you copy rightward, it will change relative to the other cells that are affected by the formula. Or you may decide to hold a particular cell fixed when you copy downwards, which is column wise, and leave it on row, in which case we'll be talking about absolute row reference. You can actually do an absolute column reference, which means if you copy a long row, you'll be moving your sheets, while if you copy a long column, your cells will remain fixed. While absolute cell reference, which is absolute row and column reference, simply means you are holding a particular cell or a particular range fixed irrespective of your direction of copy. So if you copy across rows or across column, the cell you have held fixed will not change. Let's look at our data and practice this. Now I have this data. I'm going to add up this particular salary basis. So I'm going to sum this and I press center. So if you notice, I have actually referenced cell B3 down to cell E3. Now this is absolute reference. I've not held anyone fixed. If I copy down using my autofill, you will notice that when I'm here, I'm referencing this particular row 3. Now when I move down, just by simply copying down, the system shifts my copy in line with the position of my cursor. So each time I copy down, it moves down by one step. I move down again. So you notice this is E5, B5 to E5. If I move down to 6, it moves down to 6 as well. If I move down to 8, it moves down to 8. That is relative reference. The cells will move relative to the particular cell that you are. Now let's look at this. We are proposing an increase in this gross pay by 10%, which means if I do this 10% multiplied by this, I have this, but I cannot copy this down because my formula is actually referring to 10. So if I copy this down, look at what it's going to give me. Now it's shifted down here because it's looking at it like a relative reference, which of course the formula is, but I want this particular 10% to be held fixed. So what I will do, you hold cells or ranges fixed using a dollar sign. I'm looking at G2, so I get to G2 and I place a dollar sign before and after. So if I place a dollar sign before and after, that is an absolute referencing. Now you can do that by just taking F4. F4, we put a dollar sign before and after the character. So that will have here that when you have your dollar sign before and after the letter, it's an absolute reference, which means the cell is fixed irrespective of your direction of copy. Now I'm just going to copy down and you notice that it didn't move. This is 10 multiplied by this. So the only one that is shifting is the F column, because F column is a relative reference while G is an absolute reference. So each time I move down, my 10 is fixed while F is moving, which is the relative one. So I have an absolute reference to this particular cell G2. Now, if I come to this place, I'll be referring to 15 multiplied by this, which means I have to do this again by taking 15 and I hold that fixed multiplied by this and I copy down and I come to this place and do the same thing. But because I'm going to be doing one line after the other, it's a waste of time because I can actually make this particular one be an absolute row. So since I want to copy here, if I copy to this place, look at what happened. If I copy here, look at what I've done. You notice I have actually moved my F to G, but I would prefer my F to remain while my G moved to H. So what am I going to do? I will hold my F as an absolute row by placing the dollar sign after the letter. So I'll look at my F here, and I come here and I place my $sign. That's my G. I place the $sign after the G. So I come here and I take this off. I take this off. So having taken that off, I've held the G fixed so that each time I copy down, my formula is going to be fixed for that. Now my F, I also have my F. Now my F, I'll prefer my F such a way that when I copy down to the right, my F should be fixed. So this way, let me take out this one. This way, I'm going to copy this to the right, and let's see what we have. Now I have here, fine, you can see I have G10 multiplied by F. When I move to this place, I expect to have 15, yeah. And then when I move here, I expect to have 20 against F. So let's see, fantastic. So now I can actually copy the whole of these ones down, and let's see what happens. So wherever I am now, if I place my cursor here, I already have 15 against this. If I move here, it should be 20 against F. So I have my cells fixed absolutely and some partial references. So this is how to fix your cell, relative and absolute. Thank you very much for listening. In other videos, we'll see much more for the cell can do. Bye-bye.